Hello everybody. I know that there are around a billion threads going on out there, but I thought I had something else that would be interesting to show. For a couple of months during the winter, I have in a Swedish Facebook group been doing a top 50 over the best songs of 1984. We're a group of music nerds that have been doing a top 50 of best songs of 94 each, and then presented them one or two songs a day, posted it on the Facebook group. And I thought that I could show some of my best top 50 over 1984 now when the chart is already made. I've been doing charts before over different years, but those charts were made when I was younger. This chart is made now in 2020. So it may look a bit different than it would be if I made it back then, because back then in 1984 I was 9 going 10, and I had hardly discovered pop music. I was curious about pop music. I started to be interested in what I heard, which developed totally the year after that in 1985. So of course 84 has a lot of nostalgia from those first steps into my musical interest, into becoming the music nerd that you see here today. I'm not going to show the entire top 50 here right now in records, but I can show in a rolling list the places 50 to 26 for those who are interested. So here comes the lower part of the chart. So, with that, you have all understood that I'm going to show the places 25 up to number 1. So it is a whole lot of new wave synth pop, a lot of some soul also. Only 2 Swedish songs. Maybe not the strongest year when it came to Swedish music. But let's start with number 25, that goes to OMD and Tesla Girls, a fantastic poppy, happy song with amazing production and amazing energy in it. So always been one of my favorite OMD songs since I heard it the first time. Number 24 goes to one of 2 Swedish songs by Swedish group Imperiet, the Empire, and the song is called Du ska vara president, you're going to be a president, which here is made in an English version. Then it's called Be the President. And it is a total energy, new wave rock energy, exciting, very, very, a little dark in the edges, but still very, very fascinating and extremely well made, as always when it comes to this group. One of my favorite groups of the Swedish band in the 80s. So I felt it natural to have one of their songs in this chart. Number 24, Be the President, or Du ska vara president med Imperiet. Number 23, a pretty well-known synth pop classic, Industry, and their State of the Nation, also a song that is have a fantastic energy, really amazing produced. A lot of these songs actually I never heard back then. Many of them I discovered around 20 years ago, in the mid-90s, and listened to it a whole lot during the 90s. But still an amazing classic synth pop that has nostalgia, even though it's not from 1984. Number 22 goes to Thompson Twins, and they had a great year in 1984, and this is the song Lay Your Hands on Me. I know there was one version released in 85 for USA and one version released in 1984 for the English market. A really great pop classic. I like the Alana Curry's marimba together with the bass and the soft synth production. Real nice, relaxing 80s pop song. Number 21, and I can assure you there will be some Depeche Mode here also, because they released an album, a great album called Some Great Reward. Now, on number 21 is a song that is not released on a single because it is an album track. But from Some Great Reward album, I pick the first song, Something to Do. And we're talking about energy. Here is an amazing energy, a real fast track that has enormous speed, and real amazing produced, amazing made, odd but at the same time a classic, unique in its form. So Something to Do, Depeche Mode, number 21. Going into top 20, and number 20, sticking with the synthesizers, new wave, Heaven 17, a band that I haven't been all that interested, as I said in my previous Vinyl CD update, that I haven't been interested all that much of during my life. I have discovered them big pretty recently, that they actually were better than I thought. But they have one album that I, since I heard it the first time, actually thought it was real good, and that was the 1984 album How Men Are. And from that album I could have picked all the singles there are real good, but I picked Sunset Now. Real soft and great 80s new wave with a lot of summer feeling. Always been maybe my favorite Heaven 17 song. Number 19, more synthesizers, but this time from a very classic song that many of you of course know. Whole lot of nostalgia when it comes to Ultravox and Dancing with Tears in My Eyes. I remember seeing it at Swedish television when I was a kid, and for many years, as Ultravox, when I started becoming a pop nerd, didn't have their biggest period. They were not played all that much in Swedish radio. They had no real hit singles. Mature became more of a solo artist. So for many years, this was actually one of the few Ultravox songs that I actually heard before I bought a compilation during the 90s and started to discover them big. I was pretty late with the Ultravox, but it had its explanation, their downfall in career. That was number 19. Number 18, the highest Swedish song, if I'm not correct. We have Rest in Peace, an artist that I made a tribute of, Marie Fredriksson from Roxette, and her solo single Ännu doftar kärlek, Still Love Smells. And this is such a classic. You can call this one a Swedish classic. If you're asking a lot of Swedes to name their favorite solo song by Marie Fredriksson, 90% of them will most likely name this one. And it is a classic. You could actually think that I would see it as overplayed, but I think it's amazing. Amazing feeling, amazing spirit in the song. She sings amazing, and great lyrics. Summer evening lyrics. Amazing song. 17. We have Talk Talk. And those of you who remembers when I listed the places 50 to 26 noted that Such a Shame was a little bit lower down. From an amazing album, the amazing It's My Life album. A classic, 80s classic, 80s new wave classic. It felt so natural to have it somewhere high up. So Talk Talk, an amazing It's My Life song. Can never be too overplayed. Same goes for number 16. Also a famous song that can never be too overplayed. Prince, of course. Something from Purple Rain I Gotta Have. A lot of the other one who did charts at that Facebook group had the Purple Rain song, which I never been a huge fan of. I think that one is pretty boring. But I felt like I definitely wanted to have When Doves Cry. It's always been one of my, if not my favorite Prince song. I think it is amazing produced, amazing made. So natural to have it along. 15. We have also something that can never be too overplayed. It's not that much classic 1984 tracks here, as many of the most classic songs from 84 are way too overplayed. But there are of course some that I can't avoid, and of course I wanted to have something from Chaka Khan's I Feel For You, and natural, the title track I Feel For You, which I think I mentioned it before, was the only song that I have break danced to when I was a kid. It didn't go all that well. I hit my chin in the floor when I was supposed to do the worm. After that, my breakdancing career was no more. But still, an amazing song. Amazing produced, fantastic. R.F. Martin production and the entire album is so fantastic, and always been a favorite Chaka Khan song of mine. Of course, the song that made me discover Chaka Khan, and soon later on become a huge fan of her.